want to thank you for being here and for this opportunity to have an interview with the elders. The elders can be described as pure consciousness, infinite awareness. They have the 360 view that we don't have while physically placed, because the mind and ego enter into the equation and change the dynamics, perhaps, of what we would have done before, because the mind is judgmental. The mind is many things, because ego enters into the equation.
Why does it seem that society is geared towards distraction, busy, versus finding one's purpose? I mean, we've been on this planet for a while. Doesn't it seem like we'd want to be aligning, sort of getting ourselves more towards this? And we're very good at solving certain problems, physical problems maybe. But why is it that hasn't been more embraced, and we see that more in our environment, encouraging this?
We will say that often there is that nudging, that to-do list, that need to accomplish more, which is not a soul essence objective. It is a mental objective. And we would say that often each is within a mind game. And it is a mind game of distraction, accomplishment, and doing. And the doings that one might do may not lead the one who is, we will call, a seeker, on the path of their preference. And so you must understand that the mind has a different objective than your soul essence had, which brought it into form. And so you must now become the navigator and the discerner and the one who controls what you listen to within the planes of the mind and the mental box. For the mental box will lead you on all sorts of, perhaps, accomplishments. But the accomplishments at the end of the day and at the end of the live stream are not those things that will benefit or buoy or move you in the path that you chose to understand. And so often, when asking and wondering and looking about, one does engage with the mind to enlist answers. But rather, we would suggest that you center and place your intention upon your heart space, upon that open space, upon that space that will lead you in the direction preferred. And so, most do not know this. Most ask for confirmation in a mental sort of way. And so they receive that mental confirmation. But we will say that it will lead you on a journey that may not lead you to where you really, truly prefer to go.
Who say they don't know their purpose, or that seems to be, I don't know what I like, I don't know what I want, I don't know my purpose, it's so important, but I don't know, they put pressure on themselves. How can we better, how can you help them? What can you say? What's going on there?
What I'll say from my understandings is that when we ask, we do it in a gotta know, need to know, right now kind of way. And the purpose is something that many must focus upon in a more contemplative, meditative sort of way. And it's not something like I asked for mine for years before I received it, but it was because I'd ask for it and then I'd forget it. Then I'd ask for it and then I'd forget it. And so what they ask oftentimes is, was it a long-term, meaningful, purposeful wanting? It's got to become the thing that you really want. Because what the purpose does is it moves you toward conscious awareness and looking at life totally different than the way you looked at it before. And so if you're always asking from here, but you're not asking from here, then you're going to get a mental confirmation, which may not be and won't be really anything that will move you from a space when you engage here. And it's simply that you place your intention here. It's an intention and an attention. Your intention is to engage from the heart center. And so you place your attention on the heart center to engage. And it's something that you do perhaps often, because what you're doing is you're allowing for a bubbling up and a remembering of what had come before. So I'm going to digress a little bit. The reason it's not remembered is because when you go into that in-between time and you're strategizing to figure out your next life, you don't know that you don't have the full awareness when you're structuring that next life. And so you're doing it from partial truths, because universe said if you wanted to know really what the truth was, you would have found it out while you were physically placed. But you asked for mental confirmations, and your mental confirmations gave you a partial knowing, but not the full knowing, because you're in what I would say a mind game. And the mind game is to keep you distracted and to allow the mind to continue to navigate and rule the vessel. And so there is an internal struggle, because when you have these negative thoughts, more negative thoughts come in. But when you work to shift that and make more positive thoughts a part of your day, then more positive things come and reinforce it. But it's a struggle to a degree in the beginning, because the mind doesn't want to relinquish its control. And so you'll find that the mind will come in, and all of a sudden you latch on to something that's come in because you'll release it. And so it's a constant refocusing, because the purpose of the mind is to be a tool for the soul essence while in embodiment. But over time, because you cannot see these things, and we haven't received that parental or early instruction upon growing up, weren't trained that we are not our minds, and that the mind is not meant to control everything that we do, that we allow that meek, small voice to give us direction, but we have to still the mind in order to hear the meek, small voice that gives us direction, right? Does that make sense?
Totally makes sense. Yeah.